What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Tony Bellew, Oleksandr Usyk. Get this. Tony Bellew is convinced that there is only one man that can defeat Oleksandr Usyk. And the FTTV boxing, can anybody truly defeat Oleksandr Usyk according to Tony Bellew? Tony Bellew, speaking on Eddie Hearn's Club Bellew podcast, declared the only person who beats him is him. Wow. Bellew, who faced Usyk in the ring, expressed that despite Usyk's grueling training camp, the Ukrainian heavyweight's sole potential adversary in his own performance, Usyk, who defeated Tyson Fury to become the undisputed champion, will face Fury again in a highly anticipated rematch on December 23rd. Okay. And the only person, according to Tony Bellew, that can beat Usyk is Usyk. And let me counterpunch. I get the appeal. I get the understanding on why, the admiration of Tony Bellew. Tony Bellew was knocked out by Oleksandr Usyk. I mean, and it was one of those fights where you're like, man, this is a really good fight. But then it was almost like Usyk was kind of infiltrating and checking things out before going in for the kill. You know what I mean? And I think Tony knows that now, looking at that fight, because Tony's whole game plan was drag him into deep waters, bring him to a real dark place, and then, put it on him accordingly. But the problem was, by the time he got to the 8th round, Tony Bellew was out of gas. And then that's when Usyk started, already from rounds 5, 6, 7, and 8, started adjusting punches. The way he threw punches changed. He angled them different. Those type of punches were the type of punches that he angled and, started landing. You know what I mean? So he made the adjustments based on 1 or 2 shots, and it was the overhand left that got Tony Bellew out of there. Because that was the punch that he was aiming for. And then he eventually immobilized it, adjusted, and then landed it, and then knocked Tony Bellew out. Now, is Tony right about Usyk? Is the only person that can beat Usyk is Usyk? Maybe. Okay, because for one, the first thing I thought about was Father Time. Father Time can beat everybody. Tony Bellew, like fighting guys like that, he upset and he made his claim. He beat Haymaker, David Haye, when a lot of people thought that there was no way he was going to beat David Haye. And he did it twice back to back. First on some kind of injury, and the second one, it was just straight up legit. He beat David Haye. You know what I mean? And then he challenged Usyk for those damn titles at cruiserweight, okay? And then, the rest is history, because he retired right after that. Okay, so, Usyk has that type of effect on people. He will get you out of there, But him, the only person that can beat him is him. I think, Father Time can do it. And him, though, I said maybe, because Oleksandr Usyk's working on a movie. I'm just interested to know about Usyk, and that's my only hang-up with Usyk. Usyk's tough. He's fast. He's still fast anyway. He's still fast enough to do the job that he did against Tyson Fury the first time. But then what could Tyson Fury do? You know what I mean? We may, I guess this would be the time to gloat in our own knowledge or our own predictions or whatever, because Tony was right. He had Oleksandr Usyk beating Tyson Fury, and yours truly had Tyson Fury losing to Oleksandr Usyk by decision, and it happened by decision, even though it's supposed to have been TKO. But, I'm still not convinced, because I'm not a guy that likes the boast in my own righteousness. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I don't believe he would have got that damn role from Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson if he hadn't won. You see what I mean? So a lot of things are given to you when you win fights. He's the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. I don't care what Daniel Dubois says, okay? Or the IBF. So I think upon winning that belt, I think those type of things were awarded to him, like movie roles and things like that. Hey, would you like to play this character? Do this and come over here and then we can knock this out in how many days? How long does it take to do a movie probably to that magnitude? You know what I mean? Depends on the budget and everything else, but it takes a while. So I know I'm in that industry. So let's say Oleksandr Usyk, has finished. Okay, well, how long did it take him? You know what I mean? And being on a movie set is not like being at a gym. Even though you can work out and do certain things, you can stretch and do these type of things, but a lot of times you're sitting around eating. You got craft services over there, kind of like our in-house grocery store with a bunch of junk. You got catering and you got people free prima donnas everywhere. So it's easy to get comfortable on set because set makes you soft. Guys like us, we train before we get the role. When we get the role, it's easy sailing because we're getting paid. You know, we're living off the fruits of our labor. But understand, once you stay on set that long, yeah, you will eventually get soft. Especially an athlete like Oleksandr Usyk, again, as Lennox Lewis, as Vladimir Klitschko, as Roy Jones Jr., as Rampage Jackson. All of these guys have suffered defeats after coming off a set on doing something because they weren't doing nothing but sitting around, hurrying up and waiting. So those type of things could happen. You know what I mean? Because Oleksandr Usyk didn't get a movie opportunity amongst getting the cruiserweight undisputed cruiserweight championship. You know what I mean? When he unified all those there, but he's getting it now. So the thing is, how does he deal with it? So I would be very impressed if he beat Tyson Fury this time, going and doing a damn movie. And that takes a lot of time. It's time consuming, then training, then waiting, then healing, then fighting, then winning. Oh yeah, that's a lot. And then, and at that point, I would agree with Tony Bellew. But of course, ultimately, people, Father Time will kick all our asses. Okay, I don't care how. Even Bernard Hopkins is the guy that defied all odds for a while. Okay, but he eventually got his ass knocked out of the ring by a guy that's got pretty much beaten everybody, or should I say, been beaten by everybody. And that's Joe Smith, heavy-handed guy I think he's from Philly or New York. And he knocked him out of the ring. You know what I mean? He tried that shit with Kovalev too when Kovalev was around. So yeah. Father Time will eventually get us. It just matters how long it takes. Because eventually Father Time will get to knocking. But you guys tell me what you think of Tony Bellew stating there's only one man that can beat Oleksandr Usyk, and that's himself. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!